Hello friends, and welcome to this new session of Java. So from today onwards we are going to start a new playlist on the Java. So this is, you can say, a basic Java. If you don't have any programming language, then this is the best course you to start with. Okay, if you have knowledge on in Java, or you are doing some coding in your organizations, then also you can refer this course as a refresher. And soon we are going to implement all the logic for in the AWS Lambda also. We are going to develop several projects in the Java, and you can find this playlist will be a very huge playlist with many videos on it. So this is the basic series. After that we will go in the advanced section of the Java, and the many things will come into the picture, like the Spring Boot, and the React will also come later on. Okay, so starting with the basics of the Java. So why Java? Because let me write why we are discussing about the Java. Because Java is a high level object oriented programming language. It becomes one of the most popular language, you can say, in the world since last many years. So it is widely used in the enterprise environment, mobile applications, specifically means you can say that in the Android it's used by lots of developer to build the Android applications, and in the large scale system as well. Okay, so this is a good programming language and very demanding. Okay, so you can see that the history of the Java, when the Java is developed and by whom. So when we start the timeline of the Java, so you can say in 1991. Okay, so from this year the Java was originally developed by James Gosselin, Mike, and the Patrick. So three persons get involved from the Sun Microsystem, and they develop it. But Java was not the initial name. It was on the basis of a tree. So that tree is a oak tree. So it was initially called as oak, after an oak tree that stood outside the Gosselin office. Okay, so it was first created just to intend for the interactive televisions, but it was soon advanced for the digital cable television industry at that time. Okay, in 1995 the language was renamed by Java, and the Java officially released by the Sun Microsystem, and the version they release as 1.0. Okay, so in 1995 they give us a slogan called Vora for Java. So write once, run anywhere was introduced to highlight its portability. So in 1996 Java development kit, so or they bundled all these things in a JDK. Okay, so 1.0 version was released in 1996 called as JDK. So if you see the JDK, this is used for the developer to compile and build an applications. JDK. So we are developing the applications in the Java, so we will install the JDK. I am going in more detail in the coming video on what is the JDK and what it contains, but for a brief I am writing all the informations so that you can understand. JDK have the JRE, Java Runtime Environment. This is to run the Java applications. Inside the JRE we have JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Okay, so what JDK content, what JRE content, and how the JVM will work and invoke our applications, we will see in a later stage. So after that, in 2006 Okay, in 2016 96 they launched the web applets. You already heard about it. So this can be embedded in a web page to run in a browser. Okay, so web applets, it's a very popular at that time to embed something in the web page that runs in the browser. 2006, Sun Microsystem made the majority of the Java code platforms available under the GNU, General Public License, leading to the development of the OpenJDK. In 2010, Oracle Corporations acquired the Sun Microsystem and taking over all the development and maintenance for the Java. Okay, so Java is widely used in the enterprise environment, mobile applications, and in the large scale systems. And what are the versions of the Java? So we can see the version here. Okay, Java SE. It's a standard editions for the general purpose uses, providing the core functionality of the language. Then we have the enterprise editions, Java EE Enterprise, for building the large scale distributed component multi-tier applications. And then we have the ME. Okay, Java ME. This is the micro editions for the mobile devices and the embedded system. Okay, now if we talk about the feature of the Java, so what are the features of the Java? The first point is it's a simple. Okay, so Java is designed to be easy to learn and use. The syntax that we are going to see in the coming video is straightforward and clean. And many of the complex aspect of other languages such as C++ are simplified, or you can say eliminated. We will see what are those complexity and what Java eliminated from their language. Second is the OOPS concepts, the object oriented. So everything in the Java is treated as a object. Okay, and we are going to discuss in more details about the object classes, inheritance, polymorphism, all these things. Okay, so it's everything in the Java is treated as an object, promoting a modular and flexible approach to programming. This makes it easier to develop and maintain the software. So it supports the encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. So all the topics we are going to discuss in more details in the coming video. This way it is easy to write and reusable and modular code. It's a platform independent. Okay, so Java itself is not a platform independent. If you say they are platform independent. So when we write a Java, we have the extension of the Java. Suppose this is the program that we written with an extension called ABC. Okay, so when we compile this with the Java compiler, we will have a bytecode. Okay, with extension ABC dot class. This bytecode is not readable by us. It's you can if you just open that file, you can't able to read it. This is not a human readable. This file that you created is a readable file. When you compile this file, a class file will be generated, and that file will be read by the JVM. So Java is a platform independent, but JVM is not, because for each of the OS, Windows, Linux, and the Mac. So JVM needs to be installed, and this is dependent. So each of the OS have its own JVM for the Java that is running on the system. So it reads the class file. Okay, so JVM itself converting it to the machine's level code to understand this operating system. So Java is independent, so you can see whatever we written here in the class file, but the JVM we need to have a separate installations according to the operating system. Okay, now we are talking about the secure. The feature, one of the feature is secure. So Java provide a secure environment through its robust security features, including bytecode verifications, the bytecode, okay, secure class loading, and a security managers. This is especially important for the network based applications. It also have the features of robust, okay. So Java has a built-in security features like the memory management, data encryptions, which make it popular choice for developing secure applications. Java has exception handling, type checking mechanism that help prevent crashings and runtime error. And the sixth one is the multi-threading. Java has built-in support for the multi-threading. Okay, it allows for the development of highly responsive and effective applications that can perform multiple tasks simultaneously. Also, one of the feature is distributed. Okay, so Java is designed to work in a distributed environment with built-in support for networking and the remote invocations. Remote invocations, the short form is the RMI. Okay, and the eighth one is high performance. Okay, while Java is a general, you can say it's generally slower than the compiled languages like C++, because there is a reason. Okay, why Java is slower? Because if you talk about the C++, C++ is a compiled language, which means that the source code, when we write a source code in C++, okay, the source code is directly converted into the machine code, which in case of Java, JVM is doing that. So C++ is definitely faster, you can say, than the Java, because Java on the other hand is typically compiled into an intermediate form known as bytecode, which is then executed by the virtual machine JVM, this one. Okay, so this extra layer of interpretations can introduce some overhead, definitely, because it's doing the extra task to make the Java independent of any of the platform. You can say the portability. Okay, now the optimizations techniques. So if you heard about the JIT compiler, just in time compiler, okay, this is the in Java just in time compiler is a part of JVM that improves the performance of the Java application. So when a Java program is run, the JIT compiler, JIT compiler, okay, the JIT compiler can optimize the code by analyzing how it runs and making adjustment that improve the performance. And that technique is the optimizations technique, and this include various methods to enhance the executions speed and the efficiency of the Java program, such as garbage collections. Let me note it down. The optimizations techniques, that is the garbage collections. Okay, and the hotspot optimization. So what is the garbage collections? It will free up your unused memory, you can say, in a simple term. So whenever you write a program, some memories get used, like we create a variables and all these things. So Java have the efficient memory management, you can say, and garbage collections to free up unused memories. So when the program ends, it will clean up the memories. Hotspot optimizations is also the part of the optimizing techniques. Okay, frequently execute code called the hotspot is optimized more aggressively. Okay, these are the features. And the ninth one is the dynamic. Java programs can carry an extensive amount of runtime informations that can be used to verify and resolve accesses to object at the runtime. So these are the and definitely one of the most important is the community. Java has a large and active developer community with extensive resources, libraries, framework and tools available. Okay, this type of ecosystem help developer to solve the problem and build applications more efficiently. Okay, now we are going to talk about the JDK and the JRE. Okay, so when we write a program, before writing the program we require the JDK, the Java Development Kit. Okay, that development kit have the JRE. So JDK is required to just you can say the compile our applications. Okay, so to understand the Java Development Kit and Java JRE is crucial for the Java developer. So whatever is required, whatever is not required. So when we suppose to write applications, a program you can say in Java, we require the JDK because JDK have the compiler to compile the applications and generate the bytecode. JRE is to run that particular. So if you have a user that is going to use your Java application, so that user system must have the JRE, because the user is not developing the Java applications, it's just a user that using our applications. So in the users machines, whatever the machines they have, that must have the JRE installed. Okay, so the JDK is a software development kit provided by the Oracle corporations that is used to develop the Java application. It includes a variety of tools and libraries that are necessary for the Java development. And what are the components it have? It have the Java compiler, okay, Java C, which convert the Java source code .java file, okay, into the byte code that is called .class. This is the byte code. We are going to see all these things in more detail, and this byte code can be executed by the JVM. And how the JVM know which class to execute, we will see in more details, because there is some signatures that is provided to the JVM, and JVM only there is a starting point, you can say, and JV know about it because we provide that signature when we write the Java applications. Okay, so there is lots of component like the Java interpreter, launcher, or your launcher you can say, the Java debugger, Java documentations tool, Java doc. These are the components. The jar archive, the package, because the package multiple Java classes, files and associated metadata into a single jar file. So when you just make a bundle, you make it in a jar format. Okay, so we are going to see all these things, how we write a project, how to we generate the artifacts, and we can also see how to host in a cloud environment using the Argo CD and all these things. That will come in later videos, but currently we are focusing on the basics of the Java. When it's get completed, then we have the advanced Java and all these things. Okay, so what are the, you can say, the development tools? The JDK include other tools like JConsole, JVisual VM, and JStat for monitoring and the performance analysis of the Java applications. Okay, so these are the things. And what are the JRE? Like I already mentioned, this is required when you are running the applications. Okay, so JRE is the subset of the JDK. Subset means it's a part. JRE, it's fall inside the JDK. I'm writing it several times so that you can understand. Okay, so JRE is the subset of the JDK designed to run the Java applications. It provides the library, and inside the JRE we have the JVM, okay, and other components to run the Java program, but does not include the development tools. So if they suppose user have the JRE, okay, and he is running our Java application, but at later he decided, okay, now I am also going to build a Java application, so he can't able to do it. He need to install the JDK in machine. Okay, so JDK in the machine, and JDK contain the JRE. So if the user have the JDK installed in the machine, he can easily develop the application as well, and access or you can say run the applications built by the other users. So both develop and run in the machine if the user have the JDK installed. Okay, so what are the components? If you say the JDK JRE contains the JRE components. So JRE contains the JVM, the core component of the JRE that execute the Java bytecode. Okay, it provides a runtime environment with compatibility like a garbage collection, memory management and securities. Then it have the Java class libraries as well, which is a pre-compiled library that provide a standard functionality like Java lang. If you not understanding these all things, no need to worry. We are going to discuss in more detail about it. Okay, Java util, Java IO for input output. Okay, so these are the class library, you can say pre-compiled library that provide a standard functionality. The JRE also have the component like the class loader. It's responsible for the dynamically load Java classes into the JVM, and other components include configurations file, property settings, and runtime library requiring for the executions of the Java applications. So now the executions process, when you run a Java applications, you will just at that time the class loader loads the compiled Java bytecode into the JVM. So this is the responsibility of the class loader, which loads the compiled. So class loader. So class loader compiled the Java bytecode. Okay, the class file. Whenever I say the bytecode, it means that the class file into the JVM. So Java loader will pick the class file and load into the JVM. And JVM is very intelligent because when we write the application, at that time we are providing the signature. So JVM find that signature. If the JVM have any problem in finding that signature, then it will complain, it will produce an error. Okay, I am not getting what you want to run it. Okay, so provide me the proper signature. So that is very important for JVM to start with. Okay, then the verifications will come into the pictures. When the class loader load the JVM, the class file bytecode into the JVM, then the verifications, the bytecode verifier, the bytecode verifier checks the code for any potential security issues or the violations of the Java's language rules. So all things are checked at that times. Then the stages come for the execution. So we have 3 stages: loading, this is the stage 1. Second stage, you can say, the verifications. Okay, and third is the executions. Okay, the JVM interprets or compile the bytecode into the machine code using the JIT, which we already discussed, just in time compilations, and execute the applications. Okay, so if we go in brief, what is the JDK and what is the JRE, we understand it, like what is the purpose of the JDK. So JDK is used for developing and compiling the Java applications. JRE is simply used for the running of the Java applications. And we discussed the JDK components, JRE components. So JDK include JRE, JDK include JRE. Okay, development tools like compiler, debugger, and many more things, and the library for the development. These all things contained by the JDK. Okay, libraries, I will simply write lib, compiler, and the debugger. These all things contained by this is the component of the JDK. And JRE includes JVM, class libraries, okay, and other components for running the Java applications. Okay, and if you talk about the user, suppose we have the user. This is the user 1, user 2. So this user is a developer and this user is a tester, suppose. Okay, so this definitely required the JDK. Okay, this is required by the developer who need to write, compile, and debug the Java programs. And JRE, this requires, because this is the end user, that maybe it's a tester or just a user to use the user is applications, using our applications. Okay, so it's required by the end user who need to run the Java applications but do not need to develop them. And when this user 2 change the mind to develop the applications, it also required the JDK at that time. Okay, so that's it for this video. I am not going to make it lengthy, so I will try to make a video of only 15 minutes, not more than that. But we are continue to bring videos, means in a week I will try to bring 3 videos on it. Okay, so if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends who is just new to Java applications, because we are going to discuss in more details from basic level. Okay, so that he can understand. If that viewer don't have any knowledge of any of the programming language, he is just very new to any programming language, then also he will going to understand what is the programming language and start with the Java. Okay, so if you have any questions related with this video, you can write in the comment box and I will try to answer it. If you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do subscribe it. That always motivate me. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next video on this series. Have a nice day.